everybody, and welcome to the Creative Corner. And we're going to do things a little bit differently today. I got a bit bored being by myself, so I thought I'd bring someone to help me. How you doing, Flash?
Good, thank you. Happy morning. How are you?
I'm very good, mate. Always good on a Monday morning. And thank you for joining me to quiz these authors about their books and about
Quiz
their authors. Like that?
Yeah, I do actually.
Yeah. We dig a bit deep and find out who they are and why they've done their book and what motivated them. And I've got a bit of a trick question at the end which they don't know about. So now let me introduce you to Lynne Heuermann. How are you, Lynne?
I'm good, how are you?
Fantastic. Now, Lynne is the author of Sophia and the Spirits, which is an amazing book. And before we get talking about the book, how about we find out a bit about you?
Sure. Mother of two, have two awesome kids, Jade and Adam. Also a grandmother to Sophia, who the book's about, the light of my life. So I was born in UK. Ever since I was a kid, been interested in ghosts, spirits, entities, monsters, spooky stuff. So that's why I started doing what I'm doing. I work as a psychic medium, I do house clearings, I'm a past life regression therapist, I do energy healings, but it all started when I was a kid. Spirits, ghosts, the afterlife, that's me.
So, Sophia and the Spirits is obviously a very unique book. Where did it come from? Like, where did the story come from? Tell us how you sort of came up with the whole idea.
The idea came about because there's not enough information out there for kids who have the abilities to see and communicate with spirits.
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot of house clearings. I go to people's houses, the parents have called me. Their kids are seeing spirits in the room. They're waking up in the middle of the night. The parents don't know what to do. So for me, trying to find the resources for these parents to help them on their journey was quite frustrating for me. So that's where it sort of came about, but also everything that's in the book are direct experiences from my granddaughter, who's very open, very sees, hears, feels when spirits are around. And she had some not so nice experiences. So I wanted people to know she was quite young when she had these experiences, but you know, there's also ways on helping these kids to get through what's going on. So,
great.
Yeah.
I want to touch on that a little bit because I think, and we've spoken about this as we've gone through the publishing journey, when children say to mum and dad, I've seen something, mummy, and usually the parents fob it off, don't they?
They do.
And you know, not saying that it's right or wrong, but what's your thoughts when you hear that? Because you'd hear that a lot, wouldn't you?
I do. It's really hard for the kids because it confuses the children that are seeing these people. You know, like the parents walk into the room and say, "Mummy, there's a man standing in my room." And Mummy says, "No, there's not." It's really confusing for these children and it's hard for them to deal with what's going on. They feel ostracised, they feel like there's, you know, something wrong with them. They wonder why can I see these things and all these people around me can't? And it's scary and it's very challenging for them. It doesn't have to be.
I'm going to enlighten you people on something.
Right. I like to be enlightened.
When I was a young fella, and I was actually a teenager, you know, or going into my 20s, and I went through, it was about 1999, and I started to see this. Mm-hmm. Okay? Now, for me, in my early 20s or late teens, to start seeing black figures in the corner of my room, you know, I was a bit of a party animal, so I thought, it might be just a bit of a hangover, you know, but it ended up being quite consistent.
Yeah.
And even when I was fine, I hadn't got on the terps the night before, and it was still there.
Still there, yeah.
So it kind of told me that there was something there. When I brought it up with my friends, they found that it was, they thought I was crazy. They said, you're an idiot, whatever. The remarkable thing was I started to convince myself that I wasn't normal, that I was losing my mind. And that sent me on a journey of spiritual awakening, which gave me tools and resources to be able to deal with this. Yeah. And I have to just thank the universe that I found them, because I now own that spirituality now, which we've talked about. So is this common in people that are not just kids, you know? Older?
Absolutely. And my hope is that, you know, anyone who's having spiritual experiences with ghost spirits, entities, whatever spirit that is, that this is like a resource book. This book can help them not only to determine what spirits are what, like a who's who in the zoo, like a field guide. But what do you do with the different spirits? You know, some are loving and beautiful and want to chat to you and guide you on your life. Some, like the one you unfortunately had experience with, they want to drain your energy. They're like vampires.
It certainly felt like that. Now, back to you, back to the book. What was also really cool about this was that you did the illustrations for this.
I did.
That must have been a hell of an experience.
It was amazing. I've been going to art class every week for 18 months, so I did probably about 6 months, and then I decided that I was going to write the book, and I was going to draw the pictures as well. So it's a little bit exciting. All my family, well, not all my family because I come from a massive family, but there's a lot of my family members in the book. And learning to draw has been quite a challenge, but I have to say I've really enjoyed the journey. It's been amazing.
What did you learn about writing the book?
Once again, obviously I learned how to draw, but there's not enough resources out there. And also I never thought I would be someone who would write a book. So it's been a fun journey. I have to say I've actually really enjoyed it. There's been no pressure, there's been no deadlines. It's just been, you know, I'll go, I'll draw my pictures, I'll do a bit of writing, I'll draw some more, and it's actually been a really fun experience.
So you just mentioned that you didn't think you'd be a person to write a book,
no.
But you found the publishing journey quite easy and not stressful. So for all of our watchers out there who are watching and listening, do you have something to say to them, like about the publishing process, about writing that book that you didn't know?
Absolutely. If you've got a book and you want something you want to get out there, do it. With you guys, I have to say, this has been an awesome journey. It's not scary. Like I say, I've really taken my time with the book. I've done it on sort of, you know, my timeline. But when it comes to the publishing, myself, like probably a lot of people out there watching, you think, okay, I hand it over to the publisher and that's it. Do you know what I mean? It's so not it. That's when the next journey begins. And that to me was a little overwhelming at first, but I have to say I'm actually enjoying that too because it's my baby. It's my book. Do you know what I mean? And to be part of that process and to see this all unfolding it's been magical.
I think because the other part that you were overwhelmed with was the marketing.
That's yeah. It's like, whoa, no, me market? Don't be ridiculous. Sell myself? Don't be ridiculous.
And you recently went to a Mind, Body, Spirit fair up in Brisbane.
I did, yes.
Where it was your first
3
forte
days.
into telling people about this.
Yes.
How was that?
Loved it. Loved it. I actually, it's nice having people so interested in something you've created and telling them about it. And, you know, it's my passion. And people are interested in my passion. That to me just blew me away. So yeah, that was a really good experience.
This is something I'm pretty used to, and you'd be used to now too, Flash, which is when people are stepping into the creative expression space for the first time, there's a lot of self-doubt that comes into it. Who wants to hear my story? You know, does my story matter? You know, what do I have to say of value? And remarkably, you'd be surprised how many people want to hear it and want to know it. Even with you writing fiction, it's a bit like that, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I'm in a very interesting space because I'm writing myself, but I'm helping you guys. I'm sort of facilitating this publishing journey. So, you know, I have my own doubts, like, oh, you know, I sit in the room at night time, oh, does anyone actually
what am I doing?
My story? And then I see that reflected in you guys that I'm helping to publish, you know, bring your creative legacy to life. And it's really cool because I see like this total opening happen, that you really start to accept that people actually really do not just want to hear it, but need to hear it as well. So it's really interesting for me, and I guess I'm sort of, in a way, I have this really drawn out process. I have the same process, but you know, it's just taking me a lot longer to get there.
Yeah.
So.
And that's quite cool because he gets to go through this journey of bringing his own book to life and going through the marketing, like you're ahead of him in the marketing mentorship. And he's seen all these authors start and finish while he's still working on his, which was great education for him, and it's really entertaining for me. But it's great to see the community come together, and you know, we've been going to launches together, we've been going to the Gold Coast Riders, and you know, we're really connecting to a greater community of people that are all in the same boat as you and sharing that story, and that's pretty special.
So obviously this book is targeted at the younger audiences, but do you think the actual target could be a lot bigger than that?
Absolutely. So the main target group when I started writing the book would be, say, 3 to 10-year-olds. But having written the book and spoken to a lot of people about the book, it's for anyone who's having experiences. There's a lot of information in there. It's like I say, it's like the basics, you know, ghosts, entities, spirits 101 if you like.
Yep.
So if you've got some sort of questions or things are happening, have a look at the book, maybe able to answer your question.
And do you think, from me sort of stepping into this publishing world, I found that a lot of the children's books, they're actually aimed to help provide, I guess, a medium for the parents and maybe
Absolutely.
even teach the parents a little bit? Do you think that's sort of along the same lines with you?
Absolutely, because the parents are coming to me because they don't understand what the kids are going through. So for them, it's an eye-opener and you know, they can read the book to the children, but they're also picking up the tools and techniques to help the kids. So it's helping them, it's helping their children.
During the marketing journey, we've been putting the book out there to a few people, get some feedback and get some early reviews. What has the feedback been so far?
Really positive so far, and probably a bit of relief for some people, like, oh my God, there's finally something out there I can get my hands on, I can flick through it, I can take it home, it's there. So it's been really positive, especially with my family. That guy on the front is actually my brother-in-law Peter, and my sister's just beside herself with excitement because he's in the book, and to her it's really honouring his passing. To her, he's still alive in the book, so that's really special.
That is really special, isn't it? Just thinking that's the power of creative expression. It's that lasting legacy, you know, creating something that actually will outlive us and our mortal souls, our mortal bodies, I guess. It's really cool, it's really powerful.
Life goes on.
What is next for you as a writer? Do you have any more 101s coming our way?
I was thinking, because this book's aimed more at children, I could possibly do one that's aimed at the parents or adults or older people with a lot more information, go into a lot of detail, delve into the different types of spirits that are out there, go more into the tools and techniques, and just bring together a lot more information to hopefully help, you know, the older generations.
And for you, that's obviously the field of expertise that you work in. Do you think that would be sort of easy? I mean, I'm not trying to say that it would be, you know, just flippant, but do you think it would be easy for you to put that together?
Yeah, because I actually do it on a daily basis. People come to me all the time. I go to people to clear their homes, to clear their energies of these different types of entities. So it's something that I'm dealing with every day. I'm talking about it, I'm working with it, it's part of who I am. So to get that out there, I don't think it will be hard because it's just an expression of me.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. And working with you has been an absolute gem. We've had a lot of fun, and yeah, I think that, you know, when you go to write something that's got a bit more focus towards adults, it's going to kind of put the jigsaw together for them as well. Now I've got a question for you that I didn't give you.
Drum roll.
Here we go.
So as you know, I'm a bit of a fan of the superheroes.
Yes.
Yep, okay. Superman, Flash, and there's a few others floating around. In fact, Batman just messaged me before, he's still messaging me. If you were to look at a superhero that you resonate with, or a superpower that you resonate with, who or what would it be and why?
I like the magician superheroes, if there is one.
Magician superhero.
You have to think about that, guys.
Like Doctor Strange, that sort of thing.
I don't know about Doctor, so I haven't watched that, sorry.
Okay. Scarlet Witch.
It's good that you know your superheroes, Flash. I'm impressed.
It's what I like is bringing the other dimensions into this dimension. It's like a form of using magic.
Yeah.
So which superhero would that be, guys?
Well, we're going to have to get back to you on that one.
Go and consult our encyclopedia in the back room.
I remember we were talking to one of the team members in Sydney the other day about choosing a superhero. Myself and Lois Lane, we actually were going through Google trying to pick superheroes. It was insane.
Which one will it be?
We ended up going with Storm, so hopefully she likes that. Lynne, I want to thank you so much for joining me in Flash today and talking about this gorgeous new book.
Thank you.
It's all good. And for you guys that would like to get a copy of this, That is the web link on the bottom of the screen. Go and check it out, and we will see you next time on The Creative Corner.